Good day, my dear ones. I hope you're having a great day today. I want to speak with you for a few minutes about the value of waiting, the spiritual value of waiting. We're waiting for lots of things in our day. We're waiting for the results of the presidential election. We're waiting for the pandemic to be over, to get back to the way things used to be or will be in the future. Maybe you're waiting for some things in your life personally. Waiting can be a difficult time, but it's also a time where there can be real growth, spiritual growth. There's value to waiting. We're waiting for Christmas already. And I'm wondering, is it time to start putting up the Christmas decorations, like a wreath on my door or my Christmas tree? How about you? I want to encourage you this year to maybe wait on doing some of those things to celebrate the season of Advent this year. In the Bible, it says in Psalm 27 verse 14, to wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. You will find often in the Bible the encouragement to wait for the Lord. Having to wait can deepen our trust in God. I often teach that there's 4 answers to prayers that God gives. Most often I think God answers our prayers yes. Sometimes God answers our prayers differently than what we're praying for. Sometimes the answer is no, and that can be particularly hard. But God the Father answered to God the Son's prayer, Jesus, when Jesus was in the garden praying for the cup of suffering to be taken from him, the answer was no. But sometimes the answer is wait. When the answer to our prayers or our situation that we're in is to wait, there is an opportunity, Psalm 27 verse 14 says, there's an opportunity for our faith to grow stronger and our hearts to grow in courage. Now, what's amazing to me is that in social science and psychology, there's a concept for this called delayed gratification or deferred gratification. This was coined and researched back in the 1960s and 70s by a researcher named Walter Mischel. And they used the famous marshmallow experiment, if you're familiar with that, in children. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward and wait for a later reward, sometimes a greater reward. So it could be resisting a smaller but more immediate reward in order to receive a larger or more enduring reward later on. In psychology, they see this as a sign of maturity. Well, what the Bible's teaching is that this is a sign of spiritual maturity. I love it when social science catches up with the Bible, because the Bible's been teaching this for centuries. There is emotional and spiritual benefits in learning to wait on the Lord. And I want to encourage you to find ways to learn to develop the ability to wait. So, do we put up our Christmas decorations this year, right now, or long before Christmas? Maybe this year, try not doing that. Instead, practice Advent. Get an Advent wreath and learn the value of waiting. Now, if this is maybe not enough for you in decorations, maybe you can put something together like this. This is the Advent log that I used in my family growing up, and I've used with my own family as an adult. There's a candle for every day of Advent on that thing. If you want to know how that works, call me and I'll explain it to you. So this year, consider waiting on rushing to Christmas. Practice Advent. This Advent, Pastor Mike and I are going to preach a series titled Waiting, where we're going to talk about the spiritual, emotional benefits to waiting with your children. Maybe delay all the experiences of Christmas some so that they can learn the value of waiting. It's so important because we live in a culture that is so hungry for immediate gratification, immediate reward, immediate fulfillment. And yet there's such benefit, emotional and spiritual benefit, for learning how to wait. So, wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. I encourage you to practice that today. Take care.